Welcome to the Fans of Fitness podcast, a voice for fitness, health, and wellness professionals. The National Personal Training Institute of Arizona.
Legit instructors teaching you.
No, enough of those bad reps. The good quality trainers that come out of the school.
Let's get into it.
Elias,
Yes.
welcome to the show.
Thank you, Travis.
It's good to see you, man. So, hey, let's do a little warm-up real quick.
Let's do it.
Little rapid fire, getting to know you. I know you. I've known you for 2.5 years, but there's things that I think I need to know.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
When I was younger, no. Now, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. We can continue now. All right, so favorite ice cream?
I'm a plain Janer, so I would do a actually vanilla dairy-free run from I can't remember the name of it.
Soy
So it
Delicious
goes
or
to-
something?
It's not Soy Delicious. It goes to show you that I barely eat it.
Halo?
It's like Creamistry, I think,
Oh,
and
I
they
don't
only
know.
sell it at
Okay.
they only sell it at a couple different Whole Food style retailers.
Uh-huh.
But it's just a coconut base, plain vanilla.
Yeah.
Very good though. But they use
Try to stay away from the soy.
there's no soy in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
They use like a real vanilla bean. It's good. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Chicken or steak?
Steak all day.
Steak all day.
Yeah.
Favorite actor?
Favorite actor. I mean, I don't even have favorite actors. It would be, my Brad Pitt to me is like a Jay Cutler.
Yep.
So
Right.
Yeah.
I have bodybuilding actors.
Right. How about Sylvester Stallone?
I like Sylvester.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if I had to pick one, him, Jason Statham. too.
Statham.
Yeah.
Solid
Statham's
choice.
cool.
Yep.
Statham's cool.
Especially from Snatch. Probably his best role, in my
Snatch.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Favorite band?
Favorite band.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going throwback and new. I collected all the AC/DC. The first CD I had was Scorpions' Greatest Hits.
Oh,
like
solid.
a 17 song
Yeah.
album CD, and then I think about Creed.
Creed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Creed Weather. You guys remember that one? It was my gig. So growing up, and then now I would say Beartooth. I really like Beartooth.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So they're awesome.
Jay
Look-
Cutler or Arnold?
Jay all day.
Jay all day. Phil Heath or Ronnie Coleman?
Phil Heath.
Best ever.
Best ever. I mean, I would give it to Ronnie.
Ronnie?
Yeah, I mean, best ever personal physique I would say Phil.
Yeah.
But the best ever. I mean, Haney and him, Lee Haney and Ronnie both won 8, but and I really like Haney because of his who he is as a man, who he is as a husband, and all that.
Yeah.
But as far as Ronnie being someone that just demolitions everything and just killed everybody, it'd be Ronnie all day. He massacred everybody for 10 years.
Yeah. I've seen those pictures up in the gym, and he stands out. He stands
Ronnie.
out. I mean, they all do, but Ronnie kind of stands out.
The limit was all the way.
Yeah.
Well,
now that I know everything I need to know about you that I didn't know the last 2 years, it's good to have you, man.
so much. I'm grateful to be here, guys.
Yeah.
Man, we go
That's
back
awesome.
a little ways. It's
Yeah, man.
been about 2.5 years. So I remember living in Surprise and then having a tour down at our old location.
Yeah.
And then one of your members did an Instagram post and said, I'm in a new space and it's awesome. And I was looking at my watch.
Who was that?
That was Luis.
Luis.
He was, I think, he might have been your very first member. At least that's,
Luis with the garage coach, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So I saw that post. I was still laying in bed. I'm like, I got to get moving. I got to go down to Gilbert to do a tour. But I noticed that I'm like, all right, I've got time. I'm going to swing by this place real quick and say hi. And that's how it all started, man. I walked in and I met you, and then I was like, I didn't even know this was here because I'm never in that area.
I didn't either, and I grew up out here.
Yeah.
I spent time in
Yeah.
California, but it was such a corner on Gilbert and Southern here in Arizona, such a cornered hole-in-the-wall spot over the freeway, to the north side there. Then no one ever saw it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was new to me too, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was cool, man. We walked in, talked to you. You're like, go ahead and walk around. So I walked around, checked it out, and I noticed that there's a couple rooms in there. I wasn't like, I didn't say anything the first day. I was like, man, this would be perfect for the school. Then walking around, and then I think it was maybe a few days later, I think it was either you or Steven that reached out to me. I came in and talked to you guys about bringing the school to the Gym Mesa.
Yeah.
and we've been there ever since. So about 2.5 years now.
It's been great.
And
Great relationship.
And what I have to say about the Gym Mesa is, like, you walk into LA Fitness or Sporta now, whatever you want to call it, and Planet Fitness and, all those box gyms, and you expect the customer service to be, like, really nice and friendly because that's what people expect. Is like, oh, I'm going to be shamed when I go to the gym. Yeah. But it's actually the opposite. When you go into those, it's like they don't care who you are or what you're doing there. And when you walk in, when you walk into the Gym Mesa, it's very, you walk in the front door and you kind of go, uh-oh, here's this big muscular guy standing at the desk. But then you guys are so friendly and just, I mean, it's completely different than what you would think it would be. Yeah. And so much less, people looking at you going, why is that fat guy here? Yeah. Where the other gyms are not that. This is where everybody should go because of the customer service and just how everybody treats everybody in the gym. I mean, even the people that go there, the members, generally, yeah.
No, I appreciate you saying that, and I've always had the mindset of, if you are a bigger, more muscular gym guy in general, and that's not who you are, is the regular stereotyped.
Right.
I guess ass, you can say.
Roid rage.
Yeah, roid rage, just asshole, like most of these guys interpret.
Right.
Then you're going to have to be a little bit more in your face with kindness, especially when people walk in the door, to know, hey, there are big guys that are still actually, they just love bodybuilding, they love training, and that should make me more settled in and actually kind behind the front desk at the gym because this is what I love to do.
Well, and you're more confident in yourself, so you don't need to put that off onto someone else.
And most people that are really into this, into bodybuilding, health, and fitness, you see a big guy, a big girl walking to the gym that wants to lose some weight. I look at them like, hey, you're making not just physically, this is going to mentally help you too.
Right.
You're moving in the right direction. And to see them come down with whatever poundage they lose and to be feeling healthier and coming in, that makes them stronger too. And if a big buff guy or girl checks them in welcomely and makes them feel welcome, that also opens up another world of not judging other people for how they look, right?
Yep.
So I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, culture's king, and you guys have created an incredible culture. I mean, that's one of the reasons why it works for us as a school within your facility, because it's welcoming to us as well, welcoming to our students, and it's just such a great place to be. I always walk in. And I smile as I walk in because usually I'm being greeted by somebody like Will or yourself or Ben or somebody. It's always like, hey, how you doing?
Let me know.
You're everybody there is so always super nice and stuff. I mean, it's so nice to walk in there and just be, treated like that.
And the only difference I'll say right now is, I'm 11 days out from my pro debut show and Class Physique. And only when I'm dieting do I have, I'm human, right? I have some days when I haven't eaten it barely, whatever, 30, 40 grams of fat all day for months on end.
You're ready to pass out.
Yeah. And sometimes you feel that way. Sometimes, and that's why you see me standing up a lot of the times, especially through prep, because when I sit down, I don't want to get up. Even just to stand up is hard. So I try to, more than anything, to be an example. And so many people in the gym are dieting and doing shows, right? And what's cool is you get to see how many people can do it and also maintain a good attitude. And I think I get better and better at it every year. I've always had to work full time while I'm dieting. I've always had to do more than just bodybuild. I've never been a full-time bodybuilder.
Right.
I've always had to carve it in with now taking care of my family, taking care of my kiddo, taking care of the gym, running the gym, and competing in bodybuilding. And if I can be an example to still have energy and still look at you and at least give you a smile and be like, hey, today sucks a little bit. Forgive me if I'm not as energetic as normal, but go kill your workout and at least let them know, like, hey, this is why I feel this way. Maybe I'm not as energetic as normal today, but it's during just a season of time, and hopefully it's for some wins down the road, which is going to bless us all and motivate us all more anyway.
Yeah.
So you've been working out like 17 years since you were 15, right?
Yeah. So I got my first gym membership. I think I was actually 14, but I was 15 where I went to a powerhouse gym. It was a powerhouse on Recker and Brown. And I went to Red Mountain High School just up the road from there. And my dad, over Christmas break, got me a membership in my stocking. And it was a powerhouse gym, and I rode my bike there every day until I got my license.
And you've been an IFBB Pro for a little over a year?
for a little over a year. My anniversary was July 29th.
Something. Yeah, July 29th.
July 28th or 9th
Yeah.
was my year anniversary. So yeah, took some time off from competing, of course, not even a year, and just really trained hard to add a little muscle tissue. And I'm 11 days out from the San Antonio Pro for my pro debut, and we'll see if I do a couple more
cool.
after that, depending on how I landed this first show.
So how long did you have to like? When did you decide like I'm gonna go for this and really really focus on on getting that?
Yeah, well, I always wanted to be an athlete. You know, I played a little bit of football in high school and freshman year, and I wrestled. And then by the time I went to, I was a sophomore, I said, you know what? I talked to my dad, and he got me a couple bodybuilding magazines, and it was a 2001 Muscle and Fitness Classic Anniversary Edition with Arnold hitting a pose on it with a big poster. And I go, dude, if you can get paid and look like that, I want to do that. So I was like 13, 14 when I saw those magazines, and then I got that membership and decided not to play football sophomore year of high school or wrestle. All my coaches were like, you're stupid. You know, we tried bodybuilding. You know, you're never going to be a Franco Columbo or any of these guys. Coaches right to my face, and I'm like, cool. And I had a solid dad, you know. I had a solid dad that encouraged me, said you could do whatever you want.
Right.
You just got to work for it, and I'm not going to do it for you, but you can do it.
Right.
And that did help me. So at 18, I was like, you know what? No matter what, at 18 years old, before I graduate high school, because I wanted like some coaches and people to see that I was like, I'm going to compete before I graduate. At 18 years old, and I was walking around, you know, giving passes. I was senior year, almost all my classes were over, so I was out giving out passes, all tanned up, you know, 2 days out from my show. People looking at me like, this is weird. You're so all the guys playing football. This is stupid, whatever. And half these guys now have done physique shows.
Yeah.
I've competed at least
Right.
in board shorts. I thought it was just stupid. And I took third in open bodybuilding
Nice.
against men, you know, at 18 years old. And then I think I did the teenage next year at 19. I won the teenage at that show. And then I've competed up till I was 21. I took like 2 years off till I was 24, just working in San Diego with Perfect Snacks and doing Costco road shows with the protein bars and stuff. And then came back when I met my wife and when I was 24, 25, and really decided, hey, I'm going to get this pro card. I'm going to start going to national shows. I can already win these local shows. I've been doing it for 6 years now, and I need to really step up a level and try to get this pro card. And that was a journey from 25 to 31 to make that happen. But I also moved, bought a house in Arizona from San Diego, got married, had a kid between that time too.
Well, welcome to Arizona.
Exactly. So I can afford it. So
Yeah.
that's the difference here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, what's it look like? Like since your last show that you won, right? What does it look like ramping up to this next one?
Yeah. You know, last show I had a different coach. He's at a TG. Justin Horrell, he's an Evagen Elite coach, married to Carly Horrell. She's a 5-time figure Olympian. So they're both badasses that have a wealth of knowledge of the industry. And, you know, I've never been one to be super dedicated to one certain coach. I've always been more dedicated to myself. And
Right.
if you're, you know, I've worked with you for a year or two and I'm not seeing results, or you're not helping me to peak and land my water and my conditioning on stage right, and I followed your game plan, which I do, then I'm not going to stay dedicated to you because I'm not getting the value, you know,
Right.
you know, for it. So with Justin, he really brought me in just really sharp last year. I'm not the hugest guy, so we just brought me in condition. And the main jump this year is now that my weight cap for the amateur league in the NPC was 175 pounds. It's jumped to 185, and they actually, after almost 10 years or so of classic physique being out, they just added 2 more pounds in my weight cap. So I can actually be up to 187 pounds. And I woke up like 178 or 179 today at 11 days out. So I'm a couple pounds up. So really more so what have looked like this whole year is adding that 2-3 pounds of muscle tissue to be bigger and compete with these guys. And really, I put a lot of expectations on myself last year. It was like my 3rd, 4th national show. I did really poor at the amateur Olympia. I got like 3rd call outs. I got last place nearly at the USA that I won in last year. The year before that, in 2020 COVID year, I got like 16th, and everybody's 16th. I was just last, and I came back 2 years later and won it. So I had a lot of pressure on myself last year, and this year the main thing is I'm just not putting pressure on myself. I got I love training. I love training at the gym. I'm already confident. I'm better than I was. I'm a little bigger. I'm going to be more conditioned. I'm going to be super shredded, and that's my biggest thing I can do. And really, it's to see this year how I land on the pro league, how I compete against these pros. A lot of them have been pros for a while. So it's just seeing how I stack up against these guys, and then we'll be able to really gauge from there. What do I need to do? What time I need to take off to be competitive? And hopefully, though, that is this year, and I surprised myself, and I'm highly competitive this year. You know, a couple guys like Adam Santos at the gym Mesa, Justin Drapo over here at Phoenix, and shoot, those are like my only guys that I've really stayed close to throughout all the, you know, I have a couple of buddies from San Diego and California that I grew up with since I was a kid also, like Zane, these guys with Perfect Snacks. But besides that, my immediate close circle is pretty small, you know.
Yeah.
So going into prep, like, you know, obviously we have a school within the Gym Mesa, so the National Personal Training Institute. We teach our students how to, you know, hit muscles and how to grow muscles and what you need to eat in order to do that. But we don't really get into the fine tuning of what it is to be a bodybuilder or to compete. So when you go into, like, say you're starting to get ready for a...
You're talking about hypertrophy, right?
No. Oh, man, I can't believe you said
I did that for you.
Travis loves that.
To grow the muscle.
Yikes.
Hypertrophy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hypertrophy.
Yes. Oh, that's
Travis
so
taught
much
me
better.
that about a year ago.
Yeah.
I might have one or two pet peeves. That's definitely one of them.
That's what.
But, like, say, for you, do you have, like, weaknesses that you're trying to fix, like imbalances or anything like that? And what does, like, a typical week look like for you?
Yeah.
For your workouts?
For sure. I mean, I think anybody that's in the industry never thinks they're good enough, right? And personally, though, and this is me being analytical about myself, I really don't think I have glaring weaknesses. Just like a Chris Bump said, I don't have the biggest arms, but I have good shape to them, and I have enough lats and chest and shoulders and legs to make it all balanced, like an old school
Proportioned.
Frank Zane. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm very proportionate. Even, you know, my calves, my forearms, I have muscle almost everywhere because I've always trained everything. I've always been very particular about training everything. But yeah, there's still room for improvement. I still need to add some muscle tissue somewhere. So this year I've done a couple splits of some double back days where one will be a pulling day, one will be a lengthening day of the lats, right? And then I would do that for 6 to 8 weeks. And then I would be doing a split of a double leg day. So a hamstring day, a posterior day, and then pretty much just a quad focus day. And we'll add calves in there too. I specifically, finally, and I dedicate this to my wife, have been legit training abs 3 days a week. The most neglected body part of any bodybuilder, or I really think most people in general, is abs. If you're training your arms one day, your chest, your back, your legs, your shoulders, when you hitting abs, you know what I mean, you're already hitting all these hard body parts. So I would always hit abs, but it'd be like once a week, you know.
Right.
And this year, you know, my wife decided to compete too. And even before that, though, she had abs in off season, and mine are not great during off season. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
You can see a little pack there, and she always has abs. I'm like, how do you keep your abs there? And I go, my arms stay lean, my legs stay lean. Well, I'm shoving a lot of blood in those areas all year long, so maybe that's why. So I'm keeping more blood in my stomach this year and my abs this year, and I think my abs have gotten just really tight. I have better control of them. I always had flat abs. I never had the, you know, roid or belly like a lot of these guys. I never had that anyway. But the first thing you look at, you know, when you look at a body, that's right in the middle is the abs. So if your abs are off at all, it's the first thing everybody sees. So that's what Arnold and all those guys would always say. It's like, if you don't have a good core, what are you doing? That's where everyone centers and looks at, and then they'll look at everything else from there.
When I was bodybuilding, or I shouldn't say bodybuilding, when I was working out in college and stuff, I always thought it was funny that Arnold, you know, took photos standing in water because his calves were so small. But that was the only thing I wanted people to take pictures
That's
of.
weird. I haven't heard that one story.
You never seen that?
Not in the water though.
No,
like
so
I
had
heard he
the-
cut off his.
I had the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I've got that too.
Yeah.
And if you look in there, it actually talks. It's him standing in the water because his calves were too small.
And they didn't want to show this. I heard the story about him cutting off his sweatpants, right, to show his calves. And he goes, you know what, I'm going to grow these things. And he cut off all the sweatpants so they would be seen. But I never heard the water one. It's cool.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
cool
You can
news
see there's
story.
pictures of him standing in the water from.
Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
Well, and you look at most of these guys in general, and it's like, what's the thing that's lacking usually most on these guys? None of these guys got calves, man, because calves hurt, man. Calves, you push calves hard enough, you got to do usually higher rep with some decent weight.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get chills after a hard set only on calves because it just burns so bad, and I get down with my set, and I'll get chills.
Yeah. Well, I worked out with you shortly after we got
Signed
there.
up,
We
yeah.
moved in, and I did a leg day with you.
Yeah, it's true, huh?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that picture either.
Yeah, it's I'll put it up on the
Dude,
on the
B's
thing.
quads though. Let's be honest. Arnold might suck. I think as a person, screw your freedoms, right? I'm not gonna accept that at all. But I mean, the wheels on him for back then and being that tall are pretty incredible. So
Yeah.
as a bodybuilder, I'll give him honor. So
But yeah, man, I worked out with you for maybe an hour. That was it. And I've worked out almost all my life.
that's a leg day.
And the next 2 days were terrible. You had me do things that I normally don't do, or you had me do them a little bit differently. And calves were one of them. I don't really hit calves that often, but I think we did 2 or 3 different movements with calves.
I don't even think we had a seated calf raise, so we were doing like
Standing.
the standing calf raise and
Yeah.
like toe presses
And then
off the
single.
leg press.
Yeah, then
yeah.
single leg
Yeah,
calf
so-
raises.
yeah, 'cause
body
we-
weight.
Because we had no equipment in there.
On a
I
plate.
love
Yeah.
love calf raises.
Yeah,
Man.
100%.
I have never trained calves like that ever, and I was like, there they are. The next day, it was so painful.
I was a kicker at football in
Oh, wow.
football, and so I have massive calves.
They're sharp.
They used to be. I run a lot now, so they're not as big as they used to be, but that was always my.
I don't think
I
I've
just-
ever checked those out yet at the gym or anything, man.
They're pretty big.
That's because Josh doesn't work out at the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
I did I did the other day, after class on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went
Counts
to
up to 1.
That's one day.
actually, well, in class I did, and then I went to the one at Thunderbird the other day, yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. So
Because you guys are right down the street from there.
yeah,
That's close.
yeah, I live like 2 miles from that gym.
You got to
so-
be going there and training
Yeah.
then. Yeah. You got your membership. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no excuses.
0. You too, though.
I
Over at
know,
Travis. What
it's-
have you been doing, dude? This guy hasn't been training at all.
Mountainside.
Don't say that.
Every once in a while. That's because I don't live close enough to you.
Yeah, but you live close to this one, yeah?
No.
That's-
I'm 25 minutes.
And your Sunset
West.
ERP. Yeah,
West, yeah. Over by Arrowhead Mall.
that's far. Yeah. All the way
Yeah.
to Mesa for that.
Yeah,
Can't.
for sure.
But we're grateful you guys being there, and that's a really cool part about MPTI and being able to host you guys out of there. Obviously you guys are always bringing in people, which end up being trainers that you guys graduate and they stick around
Right.
in our gym as, we offer the free rent for trainers. Everyone just has to have a membership.
That's such an awesome setup. I mean, it's
Yeah. Well, I think the first day I came in and I met you before I was going down to that tour, you'd mentioned, that there's no rent there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? That's impossible.
Yeah, give me the catch. I'm still waiting.
That's impossible. So, I thought there was going to be one. You're like, no, all we care about is membership. So if you're an independent trainer here, there's no rent.
All day.
And it just didn't compute because
no one does it.
nobody does that.
no
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So I'm like, this would be incredibly awesome to have the school here because not only can we graduate our students, with one of the best educations they can get, but they can immediately go from the
Walk out the
door
door.
of the
Yeah.
classroom right into
yeah.
the floor at the Gym Mesa.
With
Yeah.
a $30 overhead of membership.
A $30
Yeah.
a month membership.
Yeah,
And
that's
so-
nothing.
And so many people talk about, well, I'm scared to jump in and start training people. A lot of people graduate and they're like, well, I want to go to a box gym first and then feed me clients because I'm so scared to just jump into the gym atmosphere and do it. Because, yes, you have to work a little harder to get your own clients and get yourself out there.
Right.
But, you land 2, 3, 4, 5 clients that are consistent compared to working 40 hours a week over at a big box gym.
Yeah.
You're making the same amount of money. Setting your prices, not taking your $15, $20 cut. You set your rates at, minimum 60, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And you're actually making money. So it's just special how they can go to school, at the gym. They can go, they can graduate, learn about hypertrophy, growing the muscles, and while they're in there, talk to people, network, make some connections, meet some people, potentially get some clients, shadow some good coaches in there, and then set something up for right when you graduate. Okay, I got 1 or 2 clients, or more would be great, and start training people and start making some money. So I think the proof's in the pudding there. That it goes to show you that we're not just about money. we care about training. Like you said, all of our staff trains.
Right.
It's what we like to do. Most of us are certified ourselves. I am, Adam is, to be trainers, but we just run the gym. So we want everyone, yes, to make money, but it to be that atmosphere that's different. You can tell people are not just trying to pull the buck from you, but grow, make some money, and be immersed in fitness. That's all we like to do. We have our San Diego Pacific Beach gym that there's coaches that's been over there. It's 37 years old now. It used to be World's Gym. And I don't want to talk about all the numbers, dude, but they're making well over 6 figures a year just training people,
Yeah.
And that's not even full time. We're talking like they're in there 3-4 hours a day, a couple clients a day, and they're, they still got other work they do. And they're like, dude, I'm pulling 6 figures just from a couple clients a week.
Yep.
Wow.
So
people don't understand the potential in this industry. Not only can you help people live better lives, not just them, but their friends and family. Because if you're a good trainer, you're gonna educate them too, right? But
and you can see the passion in trainers.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You know engaged trainers. It's because they care.
Yep. But I think usually at the first week of class of a new term, I talk about potential, and I'll ask everybody what they think. You can make in a year. And I hear, big ranges. I'll hear like 15 a year. I'm like, that's a little low. And then I'll hear some bigger numbers, but usually people don't go to the point to where that potential lies. Because I tell them, not to pat myself on my back, but I went through the same program that I now run. And I'm nobody special. I just came out with a really good education. So my foundation was solid, and I was good at communicating, and I cared. You have those 3, you're good to go.
I think you're exactly right.
And I'm making 6 figures 2 years into me being a coach. I started at 24-hour fitness. I got my feet wet. I learned how to teach instead of absorb, because when I went through the program in Portland, 6 months of absorbing information. Now I'm teaching. Now I'm dealing with people a little bit differently in the fitness industry. So,
Right.
and it's learning how to sales and how to make sure people are getting to their goals and making sure that you're there for them in their time of need outside of the gym. If they're like, hey, I don't know if I should eat this, I really want to eat this, go ahead. It's all right. Yeah. Moderation. But you're always there as a coach. So it's not.
Still a banana.
Yeah. Okay. But I think one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they think, okay, I've got this client for 30 minutes or an hour. Yeah. No, you've got them the whole day. So, always tell them as a coach, I'm always here for you except between these hours. You got to put some,
That's a really good point.
But you're always there for them. I still do online training with a lot of my clients that I had up in Oregon. And if you have any questions, contact me. Anytime. Email anytime. I'll answer that whenever I get around to it. But being a coach doesn't mean just you're a coach for that hour and then you kick them out the door. Yeah. So I think when the clients
that's what you get at
that,
the big box gyms.
That is exactly what you get
at the
you're box gyms. Yeah.
Generally, and you might find an individual at the big box gyms that does care a little bit more, but they're still under the subject of the box gym, right? Where it's like, cool, I'm only making $20 here, so you're only going to care ultimately so much because you got the next person coming in behind them, right? So, but that is true. Most of the time with being a trainer, you got to realize that a lot of times you're that medium, but between people, you're a little bit of a therapist,
for sure.
And I think that's a balance, and it takes a time to craft that balance of, okay, I'm still your coach. Yes, I'm your friend to an extent too. We're not necessarily hanging out outside of class. But there is a balance, and you don't find that until you get in the mix, and you have clients, and you develop those relationships. Because there's still a point also where people are the client's going to go, dude, I want to get better, and it's like, well, it's awesome. We've talked for 40 minutes,
right?
You know what I mean? So it's like there still has to be the training part too if you want to get better, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's easy to look around like in the morning when I come in before class, or even in the afternoon, say around 4 or 5 o'clock, just to look out in the gym and see all these amazing trainers. There are so many good trainers there, and it's really easy. Like I tell all of our students need 2 hours of shadowing every term. They have to shadow for 2 hours, 2 different people, and I always say, see that guy with the beautiful beard up there front? Talking about Adam.
Adam, yeah.
Adam,
like you need
Until
to
he
shadow
just chopped
him.
it. You see a thing lately?
Yeah, I don't. He lost some power.
Yeah,
He lost some of his powers.
All right, you got to grow it back down below the neck again.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
He got a lot of shame for it.
Yes, dude. Yep. As he should.
Yeah.
because I can't say the guy with the beautiful beard anymore.
It doesn't look like the AZ fit beard anymore.
No.
It just looks like the AZ kind of
out of shape beard. You know,
Yeah, it doesn't look Spartan. He
Right.
looked Spartan before.
Adam's gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
But no, he's one of the best trainers I've ever seen, and I tell everybody, watch him when he's out there with his clients. You're never gonna see not never. It's hard to find a trainer that gives that much attention to his clients to the point where
Legit cares.
Yeah. I've walked by him before to say hi, and I don't bug him anymore. But if we make eye contact, a little fist bump. But I'm like, he's so focused with his client, and that's what it is to be a coach.
He is.
He's never once been on his phone. He's just that hour is their hour, and he's going to give 100%. And that's how a lot of coaches inside of the Gym Mesa are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've always said that about Adam. But Adam has trained since he was 19, training clients at like a LA Fitness.
Wow.
And then got his kinesiology degree. Still did stuff with Pima Medical Institute and was always training clients too. And that's just and Adam has went through a realm of injuries. We were crazy young teenagers pulling stupid weight. I was always a little more reserved because I knew long term I wanted to compete and I couldn't break my back,
Right.
And he just was balls to the wall. So through these injuries and the actually knowledge he's got from the book and learning, he's really had to craft different exercises and create really unique ways to stimulate the muscle that are outside of the realm or necessarily in the book. So he's literally created like exercises or made variations that he can now use for whoever, from him loving training and having to do it himself, dude. So
and to be
I
trained,
think Adam's one of the best in our gym.
I absolutely 100% agree.
That's what Travis has said several times.
Yeah. It's so apparent. I mean, and a testament to him to be training as long as he has and still to have that laser focus, because a lot of trainers get lazy. Yeah. After a while, they're just.
It's his character, I think, too.
Yeah, more than likely. But yeah, there's some awesome coaches there. I know a ton of our students have shadowed Adam. Some of them have shadowed your wife as well, Carly.
Yeah, Carly. I think she's the best female trainer. Of course, I'm a little partial to it.
Right.
You have to say that, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
She's like an Adam where she pays, attention. Right now, she's 3 weeks out from her show, so she's gonna cut that off. I think at 2 weeks out and not training more clients because she's the same thing. Locked in, pays attention to you. Shoot, I come up and try to give her a kiss when I'm leaving the gym. She's with a client, I barely get it. Normally, I told her, I go, next time you're training a client, if you're doing that, I'm just gonna say, see ya, because she's just always like. I'm like, damn, I'm not your client, dude. You're training me, so.
So how did you get involved with the gym?
Yeah.
How did that all happen?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to shorten it up for you listeners, but it's super cool story and reasons why I believe in God, man. But was into bodybuilding, right? Was working out here at Starbucks till I was 21. Did shows, felt like I needed a change. Knew some friends from San Diego all my life. They were blowing up their perfect food bar business, but wasn't offered a job or anything. So I actually transferred to a Starbucks that was opening up in La Jolla off of Torrey Pines. Made a call and I just said, God, open the door for me. If you want me to go out, I pay no rent right now at home with my dad. My life is good. I make money, so I really don't need to go anywhere. But I want to train at that World's Gym in Pacific Beach. Is really why I wanted to go, and I wanted to specifically train there for bodybuilding. I knew there was a lot of coaches, and it was just a great gym. So that was my intention, and I made one call, and I'm closing up on my Starbucks on Greenfield and McKellips, and I get a voicemail, and it was a guy that owned the place, and it was like some Oriental dude, and he calls me, and he's just like, "Hey, you've already worked for Starbucks 3 years. You can start on this date. Expect you out." And I was like, "Okay." So I called him back, and I literally packed everything in my car, went out 2 weeks later, started working, went to the gym over there, which is now TG the Gym. It rebranded in like 2017, 2018. Met a couple different coaches, was training with some actual good coaches that really taught me and really got me into bodybuilding. Won a couple local shows out there. And then, long story short, I got wrapped up with Perfect Bar, the refrigerated protein bar, and started selling them all the way across the nation, out all the different Costco's, Hawaii, everywhere. And then I would travel back to Arizona, my home place a lot. And Adam at the gym, at the Gym Mesa, worked at would demo with Cellucor, and Carly, my wife, worked at a One Stop Nutrition, and me and Adam went to the Mr. Olympia. We posted a shot together, hitting a bicep, and she goes, "Hey, he was demoing at her One Stop, and goes, "Hey, who's your friend?" He goes, "It's like one of my best friends I grew up with, Elias." And then he told me, he goes, "Hey, this girl reminds me of you so much. You guys should meet." And I go, "I live in San Diego. I got a great job, great gym. I'm not leaving. Why would I ever do that?" Anyway, go on a couple dates with her. We went right to Starbucks and LA Fitness, and worked out.
You knew it was meant to be.
Right.
Well, and then I just felt, we hung out for like 5 days straight before I headed back to San Diego. And when I left, I never really was a person with a lot of anxiety. I was always pretty day-to-day, very even-keeled person. And I felt weird when I was leaving the girl. I left her some flowers. She like tossed them in the back at One Stop. Texted me later. She goes, "Never gotten flowers before. Didn't know what to do, so I just threw them down."
Wow.
And I was like, "I thought you didn't like me," but I had a little anxiousness when I was leaving. I was like, "I feel like I need to get to know this girl." And yeah, long story short, my friends with Perfect Bar, I said, "Hey, I'm moving. Obviously, I would need a job." They blessed me and actually gave me a promotion to move back to Phoenix, where I was the regional manager for no longer Southern Pacific, but for Arizona and Vegas. So I had a lot of work on my hands. Moved back out to Arizona because Carly was just homesick she was just homesick. She was really close with her family. And I said, "Hey, the same way, God, you brought me out here to San Diego, I'm not even calling to look for a house. Carly, you call. And if a door opens up for us, then I'll walk through it with you." She makes one call, and it's like $1,200 for a place out here. And they're like, "You have to move in next week, though."
The good old days.
Yeah.
And I was like, so we went out there to bring it all back to the gym. So I'm working out here. It's COVID now. Got laid off. I was in grocery. Had a nice severance check. So I was just bought a home in Santan Valley. And they moved the USAs, which is where I went pro out in Vegas last year, to Arizona because it was a little more open in December. And I was the most out of shape I've ever been because the gyms were shut down. I was not motivated off of yoga YouTube. Or at home workouts. I just couldn't do it. I need to be, once I get to the gym, even if I don't necessarily feel like training, once you get into it, you can go,
Yeah.
So I always tell people, I'm like, even if it takes you to step foot in the gym first before you get going, that's the biggest thing sometimes, is open up the door and get inside of it. But where was I with it? Where was I on my story?
You weren't able to work out at home and COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah, and during COVID. So I did the show in here at the Arizona Grand 2020 USA's. Blitzed myself for like 12 weeks. I was drinking the Rock's Terramana tequila before this, and COVID, laid off, new tequila. It was great. And I was pretty out of shape, my worst ever. So I started cranking it for a show. It was really just a goal. Got smoked. Got like third call outs. Got like 14th, 15th in open bodybuilding. And Steven Kruckenberg, which I knew from San Diego. We were in like a men's group together, a Bible study group out of the World's Gym, which is TG the Gym San Diego now. And he goes, "Dude, we're coming out, me and the CEO, to look for gyms in Arizona." He goes, "We'll probably be out here in a month or two." And I go, "Wow, dude, you better let me know. I know the demographics out here. Let me know when you come out. I want to take you guys around." And he goes, "Yeah, for sure." So soon, sure enough, come March 2021, he's like, "We're flying out." And he came out with Ernie Watts, who's my main partner at all the gyms and really the guy that's taught me everything about gym business and just a lot of stuff, man. I really look up to Ernie. But and then Steven too. And Steven came out, and our CEO, George Jackson. So I met them all at a Thai place down in Stapling the 60. And I was like, "I'm not eating this Thai food." And we went back and we looked at the first gym that I ever signed up at, which was the Powerhouse Gym on Recker and Brown.
Oh, wow.
That I saw flip and go in and out over and over. And I go, "Guys, I've seen this gym turn into 4 or 5 different gyms. It's actually the first gym I signed up at as a kid." I go, "There's not enough people here. We can't go here."
Right.
I looked at LA Fitness on Val Vista and close to Warner, between Warner over there, right by that Safeway. And it always was stinky in there. I never really liked it. The lighting wasn't good. It wasn't that bad of a gym, but I was just like, I don't feel this place, guys.
Now, were these places for sale, or was just you were just looking for
both? So they were gyms that were either leased, and one of them, which was the gym Mesa, was an option to buy. and a lot of these were still month-to-month deals. That Record and Brown one, I think, was still a gym open. It was going month to month, and then the LA Fitness was closing down anyway. And we went to the busted up, huge building, Gilbert and Southern, our third stop, and it had some equipment in there. It was mostly cardio pieces and stuff. And to me, it looked like a busted old, the QT was about to open next door, which was brand new and nice, but everything was blocked. You couldn't really even see the gym still. It's still kind of blocked in the corner, but so is Pacific Beach. The Pacific Beach TG, which kills it, and they rake in money, but it's just because the same thing. They care. They greet people. You guys are 60 years old, and they stand up all day behind the counter and still greet you like it's a first day. So there's a reason why they crush it, but it's still a hole in the wall spot, and it's hard to get to. So it was a similar vibe when we went to the Gilbert and Baseline location, Gilbert and Southern location, where I was like, hard to kind of access the place, big gym, and I just thought it looked kind of dumpy. And from these owners' eyes, the CEO's eyes, and that's ran gyms all of his life, and Ernie, they're like, dude, just this front desk counter, this is $35,000. These locker rooms, there's $1 million in these locker rooms.
Wow.
The wood, like they were able to recognize the value that was still there. It just needed to clean up, And the difference was with that location, they could buy it. It was listed for millions, almost 10 million, and during COVID, no one was buying.
Right.
It was LA Fitness originally built out, turned over into 2 or 3 different gyms, and it was available to buy for like a third of the price. To own, we manage it. We just pay our mortgage, and went over the details with it. And within next month we closed it. And George, our CEO, looked at Steven and goes, "What's wrong with that guy?" Which was me. They're like, "We need someone to run this gym out here." And then he's like, "Oh, I didn't think about that." And they brought me on. So and I've been pretty much running Mesa ever since. So
That's awesome.
So that's how it started.
So that's the real story how it started. And like I said, that's why I have faith about full circle things, because if I wanted to move to San Diego and done the training, if I wanted to came back to Arizona and just, let my wife kind of pull me back over, if I would have fought all these things, the Gym Mesa more than likely would not have been here.
Yeah.
Or maybe not have sustained.
Right.
The littlest things throughout your lives can change the complete trajectory of your life. Like I've told this story to everybody, in classes. I never intended to be in this industry. Never intended. I was working for Coca-Cola. I was trying to move up the corporate ladder. The things that I thought you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So go out and get a degree so I can move up and all that. And even though I hated my job, I hated it, but I'm like, this is what I have to do, I guess. Yeah. And it wasn't until I was working out at LA Fitness in Portland, Oregon, this trainer walked up behind me and spotted me. I was just doing overhead dumbbell presses. The funny thing is that I had it. I know I had it. The weights were still going up, but the guy came over and spotted me. And I'm like, all right. So I put the weights down.
One of those guys.
And I'm like, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And then the words came out of my mouth. I'm like, hey, man, how do you like being a personal trainer? Because at that point, I wanted to change careers. I hated it. I was tired of, waking up on Sunday morning going, man, tomorrow's Monday. It's just that same cycle week. Every week is the same thing. Like,
sure.
My favorite time was when I got off of work on Friday and Saturday, and then Sundays I was like, man, tomorrow is work.
Felt the pressure coming back.
Yeah. So the dude's like, I love it. Let me get you a name and a number. Before I could even go, what? He was walking towards the front desk. He comes back with a sticky note with a name and a number on it. It's to the director at the National Personal Training Institute of Portland. And he's like, I just graduated from the school. If you're thinking about becoming a trainer, you have to go here. I'm like, okay, cool. Have a good one, man. And so I got this number, put it in my pocket.
Already going to show you that these people care.
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
I mean?
So he obviously had a great experience. And so I called that number. I talked to my wife. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about doing something weird. I want to do something I actually love.
Your wife's built, though. Wasn't she already built before that?
No, not at that time. No, she was working out, but not like she is now. No. Nope. So, yeah, we set up a tour and went there. 5 minutes into the tour, I'm like, I'm signing up for this school. And then the rest is history, just because that trainer walked up and spotted me.
So,
but I'm like,
so spotting guys are okay. Normally, I'm just like, I ain't saying nothing to anybody unless I need my help. That's
right.
always kind of how I've been, just in the background. But
yeah, it's
crazy.
so random.
Yeah.
It's such a random moment that changed everything.
And just a little bit of a person caring, showing that they care a little bit. Man.
Yeah,
and that's sometimes all it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
awesome.
I mean,
we want to be here now, man, doing this.
Not at all.
Which is terrific. I thought you'd be like, just a gun guy for True Shot or something. You know?
Nope, my favorite hat.
Exactly.
No, but it is crazy how things can happen like that. Now going from being a coach after getting out, being successful doing that, and then now running a school that I went to down in Arizona, trying to provide the same education and have the students and graduates have the same success that I've and so many other graduates have had. Yeah. It's so rewarding. I've never thought I would be in such a rewarding industry or in a rewarding position to be able to help people. So it's just all these networks and relationships that we built with people within the valley, helping them gain employment, helping them become independent. It's just so damn rewarding. Yeah. So
yeah, and pretty much that sums it up with me too. Never thought I've always stayed true to my bodybuilding and the things that I really was passionate about, even though I was working full time. I was in grocery too, climbing up that same type of ladder. But I stuck to my guns. I kept training. I kept doing the shows. Didn't really understand what I was still doing for a decade being in grocery. And then, 30 years old, we had this breakthrough, and it just came in a really special way. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys, you have something special going on there at the gym. It's amazing. I
appreciate it, guys.
If I was independent still, there's no other place I would work. Number one, I mean, there's a few reasons. Number one is the overhead thing. It's like it's a no-brainer.
You want to go pay $1,000? You want to pay $30 for your membership and go bring your clients in?
Right.
It's a no-brainer, and the atmosphere is amazing, as we've already talked about. It's welcoming. You guys bring in new equipment pretty frequently, but in the beginning, it was every week I'd come in. I'm like, what is that?
We had
what
a facilitated 40,000 square foot gym.
I know.
There was nothing in there,
But you did have some machinery that from the previous.
We did.
That was, I think, was it purple? Like there was a lot of purple stuff in there.
It was
Planet Fitness stuff or something.
It was Planet Fitness vibe, but it was actually what is it? The Evo Fitness? What was it? Is that other purple and lime green one out here?
Oh, it's I think it's Fitness 1440.
No, it wasn't 1440. But anyway, all purple and green. But they did have a couple really good pieces. They had all the leverage Nautilus pieces, the leverage ones that are still in there that are super sweet.
Those are nice.
Some of my favorite pieces still in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, but we inherited all of it. We had to buy it all.
Yeah.
And then we just needed, we bought that Penske truck from San Diego going, up the hill 30 miles per hour full. This Penske semi full of hammer strength equipment, full of plates, full of those Avanco dumbbells.
Yeah.
And that was in, we opened in April, and that was July, August, September, something around there that first year. And we unloaded all that. Then I felt confident. I was like, okay, we can get members in this place. We have a full gym. I can do I went pro out of there, guys, with less equipment that's in there now.
Yeah.
So,
so you guys have resurfaced the pool and filled it.
Yeah.
Where are we at on that?
The story. We've had a 2-year pool progression.
Right.
And I mean, the name of the game was in the beginning was because it was vacant. There was like a property manager that would clean the pool and do all that every day. But I guess with Maricopa County, which is the hardest to get around with things. If you don't have a live permit within the year, you have to start from scratch with whatever the standards are of that calendar year. So we were 2021 going in there. The last permit was 2019. They wouldn't give us even a variance for a step being 2 inches off.
Oh.
So like the steps to go down into the pool, we needed like a third one, and they all needed to be whatever. They were 6 inches. They were supposed to be like 4.5.
Oh wow.
So there was just thing after thing we had to fix on it. But long story short, everything's set, pumps, the water's clean, the jacuzzi's clean, everything's ready to swim in right now. And we're still waiting for the date for Maricopa County to pick a date to come pass us. So all they have to do is come inspect, give us the clearance to open it up, so they don't give us a cease and desist for opening beforehand, and then we can run it. So I have not gotten an email back on a hard date that they're coming out yet. And this was I think we filed for it for them to come out in end of August. So
wow.
We're here September 12th. So, and I still haven't gotten.
Just bring in a bunch of concrete and fill it in and do what you did with the back room. Just start putting equipment in there.
We thought that. We did. We thought that at the beginning, and we added it up, and we were still going to spend like $20,000 in concrete.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean. So I was like, you know what? Should we just wait to open this thing up or spend $25,000 and fill it up with a bunch of concrete?
Could have made it a skate park.
Exactly. But no, I think the pool will be really nice. We actually have a girl from Fiji. She sells a artistic swim lesson internationally. for kiddos. And she has a couple pools in San Diego that just rip. They're super popular, and it's not just autistic swim lessons. That's just a program she has that's internationally blown up. But she's going to be running. There's an office back there that we created for her. There's going to be check-ins there at TG Mesa. There's going to be a family barcode system where if you just want to have family use the pool, we'll have a barcode for that, and then it enables all the parents to get, because the parents have to stay there while their kids are there.
Right.
So it enables their kids to have a discount, or the adults, the parents have a discounted price on a membership. And when they get the family pool membership, they can everybody can try out the gym one time and then jump to the workout membership option that we still need to get the prices exactly down on, but everyone's going to be able to work out and during that 30-minute slot that their kids are there. So and then it's going to be open to public and members during all the other time. So hopefully no later than October 1st, the damn thing is open. So.
It might still be warm then, so people might still want to use it.
And it's heated, guys. It's gonna
it
be
is.
It's heated pool.
Sweet.
We got 2 brand new heaters in there. It's all brand new. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited now.
Because I know a couple of triathletes that are close by, and you're like, oh, the gym doesn't have a pool.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
We're
They
about
want to go there
we're
and
about to have
swim.
one of the best lap pools around over there.
Nice.
Is what we're about to have.
Yeah,
So
with some of the best equipment too.
we just got to get it open. And I mean, it's good for us bodybuilders too, and the people that are competing, because like right now at 11 days out, when my joints are drier, and you're taking this dandelion route to suck out naturally some water before you get to this stage, the impact sucks, So I would love to do some more swimming and towards the end of my preps for cardio and just do some laps. And I was water birthed too, guys. I was born in San Bernardino, Yucaipa in California in the water, which was illegal. You have to have a witness.
Wow.
So that to prove that I was really born.
That's crazy, man. How do babies instantly know how to swim like that?
Well, I don't think I instantly knew how to swim. I just didn't take a breath yet. So I just flew out of there and I was still sleeping.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it before. Babies come out and I'm like, how does it know? And how is it that, a 4 or 5-year-old needs swim lessons?
Yeah, in Tennessee, I knew a midwife that she still did that.
Yeah, we were all my family, my 2 brothers and sisters, we were all with midwives at home.
Yeah.
But California, it was illegal during the 90s to do that. And you had to have at least like a witness. So we had their neighbor come over and make sure I was actually born and had to go to the court. So I was a legal American.
Wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
Didn't know that it was illegal in the 90s like that.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Just in California.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's California. So with the equipment that you have there, are you still bringing more in, or are you just about tapped out?
Yeah, and the thing is about TG in general, and this is the rule of thumb and why I'm so grateful I lived out there in San Diego and trained at the World's Gym, now TG, the original TG, was they never stopped. So they started at like 10,000 square feet. They're big now, close to around Mesa, around 40. So they kept expanding with the building size that they had there, and still to this day, they'll rotate out equipment. Or for instance, our pec decks, our hoist pec decks, our matrix, pec decks. They go up to whatever 220. They're nice. They got big handles on there, but I would like to get a smaller handled one that's more heavy duty. That's just heavier for these more heavy duty guys. So we'll either end up swapping that out or just getting another one. We're never going to stop getting equipment. As money comes in, we're going to rotate this piece that I'm either finished with, sell it, replace it with something else, or keep it and add on. So that'll be a never-ending venture at the gym. We'll always be updating till the day we die.
Yeah. You guys have got some pretty unique stuff there. As concerning like the difference between, say, a box gym. Like you're not going to find a box gym with a reverse hyper. That's probably one of my favorite pieces of equipment in the Gym Mesa.
We got basically 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got the belt loaded squats. Dude, those things are solid.
The best ones.
Solid.
Well, in the box gyms, that's what they do. The EOSs that are everywhere out here right now. It's pretty much a mimic gym. Blueprint. Here's your blueprint. Make it up. Stays that way the next 20 years. You know what I mean? Maybe a decade down the road, they'll update it, repaint it, refurbish it, whatever. We're constantly going to be changing because we buy it with our money that comes in here amongst the owners, and we decide where that money goes to. And how do you make your gym better? Get more equipment for the people to use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that's what makes you stand apart.
Yeah, that and it's awesome for our students. I mean, the gym is our classroom, and having all that equipment to our disposal is, you couldn't ask for a better scenario.
And I'm sure you guys have talked about that, but it's differences with MBTI and why I think, and when I do my walkarounds, that's how I pitch it to people. I go, and they're like, oh, what is this? Where they teach? And I go, it's National Personal Training Institute. And I go, and the main difference is, if you're like me, I just got certified from the book. So, I studied, did the online test, and guess what? Luckily, I could close it when I wanted to and clock back in when I wanted to, because my attention span is not great for that stuff. I go, but what I am great at is doing that for 2 or 3 hours, and then actually what you guys do, go on the floor and performing those exercises, actually hitting those new learnings, and you get woken up while you're doing it. You actually understand the movement, and it's not just, okay, I read the book, you bend at a 90-degree cut. No, now I'm doing it. I know how it feels, and I can better teach people. And that's part of the reason why we like you guys in there, because you're sending out trainers that are not just coming in with another bubble sheet checkmark book off online. They've actually practiced the stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that gives you more confidence too.
So. 100%. Yeah, it's if you just read it, you're not applying it if you're just reading it. But if you read it, then you apply it, then it sticks. Now you know what you're doing, and the confidence is confidence is everything as a coach.
I think it's the main thing with these with the guys getting in there is the confidence is where, okay, I'm graduated now. Do I need to go to the box gym to get learnings first? Which is okay if you do. Some people do, but the better thing to do is, a month out from graduating, start getting some, blow up your social media a little more. Hey guys, accepting clients this date, and start to execute a game plan so you got a couple clients right away. And then if you do need to go get a part-time job over there, do it and get some more learnings from it. But if you're a little disciplined and you have some work ethic, you can set yourself up right out of MPTI to have a couple clients, to make a living, and then just you got to work your ass off and keep building that up. But at least you don't got necessarily a boss overhead. You are your own boss, and you got to be self-motivated, and you can make some money.
There's nothing better than being your own boss. Nothing better. I think,
except you got to be motivated and stay that way.
That's the thing. Not everybody has that kind of motivation or that grind.
It's hard.
Instilled in them. Some people have to learn to do that. But to be an independent, you have to do that. And we try to teach our students how to be successful as an independent, the steps they need to take to do that.
Okay.
Some people, they're their own enemy, their own worst enemy, and they just can't.
I think most people are.
Can't take that first step, but that's what it takes is that first step, and then those steps become easier, But
so you do the shadowing at the gym, shadow some good coaches, actually listen to what they're saying and their cues and what they're doing. And the best way to get better at anything is go do it yourself.
Exactly.
Go train your own self. Right. Figure out how it feels for you to do the exercises, and then you can add that to your client as you're training them with the knowledge from the book that you got too.
Yeah. The best thing is train your family and friends, because they're the hardest to train.
They already don't want to listen to
That is
you.
true.
Right, yeah.
They'll already talk back, right?
Yeah.
So.
My wife said, "Hey, why don't you make me a program?" So I make her a program. She doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Or doesn't do it the way that I had it laid out to do. I
There's
said,
no skin in it too, right?
I said, do 20 reps. You did 8 at max strength, like 100% of your max. Well, probably not 8, but that's not what I had. There's a reason why there's more reps. There's a science behind this. You're either going to do it or you're not. I'm not going to keep doing this if you're not going to follow it. But that's like, you can relate to that, because I think your wife asked you to train her too. And
does not really work, I think.
No,
with
it's
wives,
like
yeah, it's hard.
The only time me and Carly fight is when we're like training together.
Yeah.
It's like we both know how to train. We both know how to train good. And when we train together, the only time was my last YouTube we put up.
I saw that. I was watching that. I was like,
so it's 6 weeks out, and I think I said something in there. I go,
you did. You're like, at home, we're great. When we're training together, this is when we fight.
Yeah. So that was like the first workout, and it was probably because it was filmed, and we're both a little fatigued, from prepping, that we didn't just split during the workout. Normally, we'd be like a couple exercises in, I'll be saying something. She's like, bye. I'm finishing by myself. And I'm like, good. See ya. So.
It's like teaching my wife how to golf years ago, well over a decade ago, probably 15 years. Like, hey, let's go golf. So we go out and golf, get her some golf clubs. I don't think we went again after that.
It's also just husband and wife thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe it's my pride I need to lower and be a little better at that.
Could be.
Just let her coach me through the workout and be like, hey, you win, babe.
Yeah.
So
what's coming up for the gym? I know there's some things coming up down the pipe. Is it something about a recovery room? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously I'm a part owner of the gym. I have a CEO that he has the most hierarchy at the gym, right? With all the negotiations, with all that, with build outs, putting the extra money aside towards that. So what I know of is that in the we have that kids room area there, and we do have a therapy at some of our other gyms called TG Wellness. Where there's infrared saunas, cold plunge, which we probably won't do. Just yet. Well, the reason why is there's kind of like a chiro. What is it called? The cold stand-in ones.
Cryotherapy.
So cryotherapy. So there's a version of that can be a little less cold that's still just as effective. So we're thinking about creating a little cell like that instead, so it's dry, it's not wet, because that's what we've seen at the other gyms. It's super messy. It's one person at a time for the cold plunge, and someone that can, like, you gotta have someone staff for that almost all the time
to clean it
exactly, and to make sure people aren't slipping when they come in next. So
right.
So at least other people are working out some kinks for us. So potentially this new chiro type of thing, I can't talk about it too much because it's kind of semi-invented from George.
Yeah.
And then a recovery center. But we do have a member. She's a doctor of ours coming into TG Wellness in the old SD Botox room. And she does everything. She does, she's going to do TRT, the peptides, the hormone therapy, and even more so, she does PRP therapy. She does stem cells. She does everything, and she's going to be in there. I think her first month, she's bringing her practice over is November 1st. So another month and a half out, and she'll be in there, and she's going to have the works in there for her. So
that's going to be awesome.
And she's already kind of like, she's a workout girl. She's done shows before, so she gets the industry.
Yeah.
She's pretty hardcore girl, which I like, a little more serious person, and it should go really well. So a couple good things coming up as far as that goes, besides the main thing, which will always be just the training and the equipment and all that. But we still want to be able to take care of our people and keep them healthy.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis wants me to do a cold plunge, and just haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
so.
you need to.
Well, they just got this new cold plunge one right here that looks pretty sweet. The wifey just sent it to me, and it's these cold plunges are like thousands of bucks.
It can be.
For these ones.
Well, Joey just uses a freezer, right?
It's a $300 freezer.
So they have that freezer at Costco, and I do have one of those.
Yeah.
But it's like with the electrical and keeping on, it trips me out. It just trips me out that you can fill it up with water, and
It would be fine.
I cleaned it out and I'd used it for that, and then I'm like, started prepping. I'm like, I'm throwing all my fish in there again.
Yeah.
Just when you get ready to get in, just unplug it.
Look at this.
Huh?
And that's what I thought too. But check out this one. This one's the wifey just sent me $119.
Yeah.
It's got a little fan.
Oh, wow.
$119.
Wait, no ice?
No, you put ice in there, but it doesn't. It doesn't have a cooler.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It doesn't have the.
That's not
thing that
bad.
keeps it clean. You got to hand clean it. But $119 right in the backyard. I think I'm gonna get it.
It doesn't have a cooler?
It doesn't look like it has a.
Because that's what I thought was great about the freezer idea was like,
Yeah.
you don't have to put more ice in it all the time. You just close it and let it freeze a little bit. And
That is a good point, because this one is not a self-cooler. You have to have ice for it.
Yeah.
yeah, and you'd have to have an ice machine next to it to like just
For $119, that thing doesn't have a. It's
No,
not, it's
no, not at all.
Yeah, you're
It's just
bags of ice.
It's just the bucket. But then otherwise you'll probably rack up your money in the bucket or buying bags of ice all your life too.
Oh yeah, that would be not only the money, just the pain of
That's true. So I still have my freezer out there. Man, maybe I'll just fill it up. It's already clean. I donned it. I cleaned it out really good.
just unplug it before you get in.
Yeah, and then you can gauge it. It's got the temperature control. But I always do that. So next week anyway, I start my cold plunges anyway for just inflammation and all that.
Yep.
To get my legs completely healed, you take about a week off from legs. So I'll finally be able to see how my legs look not completely blasted. I've done 7 days a week cardio for 10 weeks, So
Yeah.
and the cold plunges do help that significantly. Just remove, that inflammation. It's junk. So
We got to
That's
time
cool.
anatomy better with you. Like we gotta do quads and hamstrings right when you're peaking for a show.
I don't think you can see it on here, man, but they're there now. I don't want to mess anything up here. Can you even see them on the video here?
Yep.
You see those trunkers?
A little
Wow,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. See, that's what I was hoping when you came in as our quad model, because
Bring me back in the next couple days, because
Yeah.
Even if you're not doing quads,
you gonna be there tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm not gonna be there till later though.
Okay.
I'll probably come in like 10.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you were saying that you didn't feel like you were in the best shape when you came in to be our quad model a few weeks ago. So we can redo that, because I know.
There's a phase of coming down. Like I was in bulk, right? I was at 205,
Yeah.
I'm at 179, whatever now. And there's always a phase through all prep where you're like, I don't want to say exactly skinny fat, but where you're getting depleted and you're doing the cardio, where your muscles, your skin's just not straight tight yet. It's like that in between. And there's like 3 week period. If you will look on my YouTube, this is how you know. I did the back workout. It was my last workout with hair. And I said something about it. I'm like, that was that in-between look to where I was getting lean. I don't think I looked great. I was still soft. And then like 2 weeks later for our leg video, I'm like, okay, he's lean now. But there's always that window of time where you're just like, man, I look like shit right now.
Yeah, your shit is like my best I could ever be.
So.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy that when we're going over, especially legs. And if I see you out there, I'm like, all right, here's my quad model.
Well, you should still grab me tomorrow because they're nice and juicy now. So
I'll
awesome.
tell them all, I'm like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get a quad model. And nobody knows who I'm going to get. The first time, I never say who it is.
Yeah.
And I bring you in. I'm like, all right, here are the quads. We just went over the quads this morning. Here they are.
Like, how much different does it look now? Because they look a hell of a lot different.
But much
Yeah.
different.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was only just a few weeks ago. Maybe I think we did quads maybe 5-6 weeks ago.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, I
about right
remember.
because that would have put me at 7-8 weeks out,
Yeah.
which is.
That's a big difference in that amount of time, man.
But that's how it goes. Once you're kind of lean,
Yeah.
then you have really noticeable results because every inch leaner from there, not necessarily inch, but everything you lose from there is just even more crazy, right? So that's why the last couple of weeks when you're already lean and people are, coming down that last little bit, you're like, wow, you look crazy. You look different every single day. You look more crispy every day because you literally are and you can see it because you're already in that lean mode,
Yep.
What is that like?
Yeah.
I might have to find out before it's too late. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to take it seriously when I'm in 70s instead of doing it now. When
Hey, they
Yeah.
have all these master shows now where they just did the Nationals Masters. I mean, there was Masters guys competing up to 70, 75 years old.
How old do you have to be to qualify for Masters?
35 is where it
Oh,
starts.
wow.
And that was one of my actually big goals. I'm 32.
That's too
and
young.
I really wanted to get my pro
Master at 35?
card. Yeah, 35.
It should be like 50.
I think it should be like 45. I think
Yeah,
45.
that's better.
I think 45 is solid.
35
I
is still
think
young.
45 would be.
I think 45 is the start of Masters personally for me. 35 though, it's like you can be in your prime years at 35. Like me,
yeah,
I'm 32, right? So by the time I hit 35, I mean, I better be at the Olympia getting a top 5 at least. You know what I mean? Another 3 years.
Yeah.
And then, up till 36, 37 or so till whenever. And I think since I've been very smart and I like being healthy, and that's always kind of been the way I do this bodybuilding thing is as long as I have the capacity and I have the energy, and really it's the desire. And anybody that competes, you have to have a desire to want to compete. If you're competing for the clout, for the chick, for the dude, whatever, for revenge of some type of way of
Right.
like, revenge body, none of that crap works, especially if you're going to try to be a winner.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get to the point where you're going to go, this ain't effing worth it anymore.
Right.
Because this sucks more than I thought.
Yeah.
So unless you have a real desire to win for something more than just these exterior things, there's really no reason to put yourself through the hell of winning and then quit, and then you'll just stay there, right?
Yeah.
Hell
Right.
where you quit at. So
Yeah.
It's so respectful, man, because I'm seeing it right now. I've seen it the last there's about 2-3 terms ago. Kevin was and he was
Right,
doing
yeah.
he was doing his first.
and he started MBTI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was doing his first show, and he was prepping during the time that he was in class.
Yeah.
And he
Yes.
went from being tolerable to, dude, what's wrong with you? He's like, I'm prepping. I'm like, what does that mean?
And
He's like,
asleep
my
in the
brain
floor.
is short-circuiting. So he'd fall asleep in a corner. That was his first one, so he didn't know what to expect. Now
Exactly.
he's prepping again. Now he knows what to expect. He's completely different.
Exactly. And he's got good people around him to show,
Yeah.
hey,
Yep.
I'm not being a little biatch doing this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
You're making this decision for yourself, and
Yep.
to complain about it doesn't get anybody anywhere.
Respect the
So-
grind, man. We got one of our students, Gracie. She's
Yeah.
I think three weeks out.
She's doing the same show as Carly.
Oh,
Yeah.
she
So
is.
they're both doing the
Yeah.
Valley of the Sun
Yep.
with Wings of Strength and Jake Wood. Which
Rising Phoenix.
Rising Phoenix. Excuse me, guys. I always mess it up.
That's all right.
I messed it up in the YouTube too. Yeah.
That's the reason why I knew it.
Yeah,
I just-
that's why. Exactly. Rising Phoenix, guys. And we're going to be there with TG2 guys. So
Cool.
we'll have a big booth there, our tent, and we'll be there all day, just vending.
Can we have a little section of your booth?
I don't care if you guys come sit with us. Well, I only got 3 vendor badges though, so you might just have to buy a regular guest pass, and you can probably come sit with us.
What date is that?
It's September 30th, so it's coming up.
30th. Man, okay. I'm gonna try to be there.
Yeah. Let me ask because
If you can ask for us, that would be great. If we can put up something, even if we're not there, if we can just put something up that says,
Oh, well, either way, I can put something up by my booth if it's a banner or something.
that'd be awesome.
I just want to be a spectator. I want to watch this. I haven't been to been to a show.
And if there's any show to go to, it is all women, so it's an all women show, but it's a great show to go to.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're part sponsoring the show. A lot of women from TG are going to be there. Tons of the girls are doing the show there, and then the Whitney Jones too in the next couple weeks afterwards. So good show to go to, and it's in conjunction with the Pro League show. So there's going to be pro bikini, wellness, figure girls, and bodybuilding girls too. So it'll be a dope show, and it's at the Arizona Grand. So it's going to be a cool setup.
Rising Phoenix.
Where's the Arizona Grand?
And Carly should win. If you just off the I-10, you take that loop around right when you're passing the Arizona Mills.
Oh yeah,
And it's that first turn off
Okay.
there onto like Baseline or
Yeah,
something.
my old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
I remember Mill Mall.
Yeah, it's just past Mill
Yeah.
Mall up there. Yeah,
That's sweet, man. Yeah,
Cool.
check that out.
we're all going. So
Cool.
Yep.
Carly's coming back with a win, so
Of course she is.
she's gonna win.
Well, I really appreciate you coming. We have your Buff Freak
Buff Freak, yeah,
Instagram and YouTube.
one word, guys. I got the name before
Buff
anybody
Freak.
else years ago. It's Buff Freak, okay? BUFFFREAK
Yep.
at Buff Freak, not Butt Freak. I am that too, but only for one.
We'll put that in the show notes and everything. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then YouTube's just Elias Wilsey, and I know you just gave me MBTI gave me a subscribed
we're
subscriber
cool, yeah.
today, which actually gave me one mark ahead of them. So now I have a little over almost 60 subscribers, and they have one less. So I'll like you guys back today.
I subscribe, but I'll go in and subscribe from the school too.
Oh, okay.
So.
I was assuming that's what it was from MBTI.
No, it was my personal. So I'll go in and do it at the school too. So
Well, personally, go subscribe to you guys. So I'm grateful for the time, guys. I really am. This is my first real legit podcast on here to talk about the gym and obviously the relationship that we've already created from being at the gym. And I really do believe that this is just the very tip of the iceberg of as long as God gives us more time, it's just the beginning of what is going to unfold with TG Mesa, TG Phoenix down the road from here, and potentially a couple more. So,
yeah, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're grateful to be within the facility at TG Mesa. Couldn't be a better spot for us, and couldn't be a better place to learn.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. So, dude, you're the best, man.
I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
And
Let's do another, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be ready for another. Maybe after my pro win.
There you go.
So hopefully it'll be this year.
let's do it.
If
So-
not, we'll do one before then. So
So let's do that shortly then.
sounds
Cool.
good to me, man. 11 days out, baby.
Cool.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks.